photographs in the autumn and winter can be really tricky. And I know it can make you feel quite unhappy and frustrated, especially when you have come out of beautiful summer light and suddenly you're faced with darker days, shorter amounts of daylight in the days, and just feeling like some days are so grey that you feel like there's no light at all. So today I am going to help you by giving you some tips that should get you through the next few months. The first thing I really want you to do is think positively about this time of year. The changing of the seasons will give you new ideas about colours that you can use. It will give you new light that you can work with in a positive way, and you can think of things like cosy scenes and twinkly lights and candles and really embrace the seasons. You will also find that if you think positively about it and face the challenge and create some great images, that you will feel really good as well, and you will not fear the autumn and winter months, but you will be ready to embrace them every year, not just this year. So that's the first thing I want you to do. I want you to feel positive and strong and like you can do this, because you can. The second thing I want you to do is really think about how you manage your time and how you schedule your photography. This is really important all year round, but it is particularly important in these shorter days and the darker months. Because if we aren't prepared, then what happens is it's suddenly late afternoon and there's no light left. Or we have one day in the week that we've chosen the day where it's the darkest day and the gloomiest weather. So if we do a bit of preparation, then it means that we can get through these challenges of the light. So what I do is I start each week and I think about what I need to do in that week. I think about the images that I'm going to need, and then I look at what's happening with the weather. So if I can see that I have availability to shoot on a Wednesday and a Friday, for example, but I have a look in the calendar, have a look at the weather forecast and see that on a Wednesday the weather's not looking great at all, but on Friday it looks like it's maybe going to be a bit overcast or maybe a bit of sunshine. So I would go with making sure that I clear my calendar and have enough time on the Friday to shoot my images. And then I'm thinking about the day, and I need to think about how I can create those images on the Friday. So do I need to prepare some stuff on the Thursday to make sure that on the Friday I have all my props ready, I have thought about the scene and my styling, and I'm ready to shoot. And I'm ready to shoot as early as I can in the day. So obviously, because it's autumn and winter, the early time in the day isn't like it is in the summer when you might want to start shooting 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. It's more likely to be around 10, 11 o'clock in the morning that you want to start your shoot. But if you don't start it then, you will rapidly run out of time. So scheduling my photography on the right day of the week, having thought about all the props I might need, having given some thought to the styling, maybe I've looked for some ideas on Pinterest, or I've ripped some ideas out of magazines, or I've even done like some test setups. I might have even set up everything and I just have to take the photos on the Friday. So you really have to plan ahead and really think about when you're going to take your pictures because of the weather, when you are going to take the pictures in the day, and make sure that you are really prepared, because preparing in advance will mean that you can really make use of the light on the day that you can take your photographs. Now, it might be that you don't have the flexibility that I have in the week to take your pictures, and it might be that you need to take your pictures at the weekends because you're at work all day, and by the time you get home, obviously there's no light. There's no light before work and there's no light after work. I know that situation. So at the weekend, you need to make the most of your weekends, and perhaps you have a really busy month. We're coming to a busy time of year, and so I know that you don't always have the luxury of shooting images every weekend. So you need, again, to think about your whole month, and you need to be thinking, okay, I can shoot on the second weekend of this month. What are all the images I need for this month? Do I need to bake anything? Have I got to make anything? Do I need some props? What kind of images do I want to be sharing on my blog or my Instagram? And really try and make the most of those weekends. In the week, during the evenings, when you might have been shooting in the summer, you can really make use of getting your props together and thinking about styling ideas. So you can still make use of that time and then put it all together and have a really good shooting day at the weekend. Now, the next thing you might want to do is get a tripod. If you have a tripod, it means that you can really shoot on those dark days, because you can set your tripod up and you can let your camera be really nice and open, have long shutter speeds, and the camera is on the tripod, so your camera can just stay open and suck in all that light that it needs to, and you will still get some great images. You can shoot in pretty low light with a tripod, and you can definitely shoot in autumn and winter. You might not have a tripod, or you might have a tripod and you might just not really like it. I hate working with tripods. They're a faff, you have to put them up, they're wonky sometimes, and it can feel like a real faff. But if you can embrace your tripod and you can really learn to love it, then it means that you will really be able to make the best of the images that you can create in these darker months. So I would really recommend a tripod, especially if you've got an SLR camera or a mirrorless camera and you can do these long exposures, because it will really benefit you. So think about being organised, think about using a tripod, and think about planning ahead, looking at the weather, making sure you are aware of when the sun is going to be up and when it's setting. And that will be changing week by week now. The days will be getting shorter and shorter. So remember to be organised so you can make the best of that light.